Hiya. Should we have a reading? See what messages want to come through today. Okay. Who's this reading for, please? Can we have a significator card? Seven of Wands. You're struggling with a bit of competition at the moment. Seven of Wands, it can be healthy competition. It's healthy in terms of it's something that should be expected as a natural part of the path in bringing your dreams into fruition, okay? We get so far along. So from the six is like celebration, recognition, acknowledgement of the wider community as to your success. Fame to an extent. You could look at the Six of Wands as your 15 minutes of fame. Everybody recognizing and acknowledging things that you've achieved. Really, really special moment the Six of Wands is. A natural result of that is the Seven, which is people looking at your golden fleece and saying, no, I want that. I want that. I want the result of that person's effort without doing anything. So the Seven of Wands can often be like underhanded stuff going on around you, people seeking to undermine you, kind of questioning your position, the position that you reached and achieved off your own merits that put you in the Six of Wands. Whenever we get so far, it naturally attracts the attitude, the attitude of those who just want the results. They're not prepared to go on the same journey that you've had to get to where you've got to. They just see what it is that you're winning in, what it is that you're achieving, what results you're getting, and they simply just want to take that for themselves. So Seven of Wands can be a bit of a warning card, but also, as with any struggle, try not to take it personally. You know, people aren't necessarily competing with you because they don't like something about your character, let's say. It really isn't that. It's mostly envy. It's jealousy. It's people wishing to covet what is yours, okay? So the sevens can be, Seven of Wands can be quite tough because it's about kind of hanging on in the storm of all of that and kind of facing down your competitors and literally carrying on with your path without any of that outside interference. So do be mindful of that. Sorry, the sun's just gone really bright. Do be mindful of outside interference, okay? But you're obviously on the right track to have attracted that. So it's not that you're doing anything wrong. It's not that people necessarily don't like you. It's envy, okay? Envy and jealousy creates competition, and envy and jealousy can bring out the worst in people. So some of the behaviors and things that you might be hearing, things that you might be subjected to, it's really not about taking it personally. You see it as healthy competition. Okay, we've got the 7 and the 8, so we are progressing. The 8 is cups, though. Maybe someone who's in competition with you is actually someone close that you're going to be walking away from. Maybe this competition is painful for you. Maybe it's come from sources that you didn't expect. Yeah, that's a tough one. The 8 of Cups speaks about realizing that we've done absolutely everything we can think of doing to make a relationship work or to keep it going, and realizing that there's nothing left to either think about, plan, try and solve, anything like that. It's about letting go in order to see organically what comes next. It's a difficult journey. We've got similar to a reading the other day. We've got this space between the pain and the new day and the joy. We've got this little journey to go through here. In the Mythic Tarot, she does journey into the underworld. She hasn't got a clue what is going on, but she knows she's got to make that journey because it's going to be helpful for her growth. And when she comes out the other end in the Nine of Cups, which is self-satisfaction, self-contentment, a clear conscience, regulated emotions, a regulated nervous system, all of these wonderful, calm and balanced and stable emotional levels that we wish to reach. Part of our journey of reaching that is a kind of surrender to what is and what can be. You might liken it to, let's say, the end, or what might feel like the end of a relationship, where you've maybe tried talking, you've tried writing, you've tried counseling, you've tried support, you've tried date nights, you've tried livening things up at nighttime. Maybe you've had a break away from each other. And the 8 is about reaching a point where there literally is nothing left to do. All you can do is be yourself in the most kind way now. Allow that other person to also be themselves in the kindest way, and just see where you go from here. It's one of the hardest things ever to actually relinquish control and see what happens. Go with the flow. But at the end of going with the flow, see, we've had lessons from all of these cups that are spilt. They're positive lessons that we can take a lot from and grow with. And it's all to lead us to this beautiful place, which we're going to find if we go on that journey. But if we never go on that journey, we stay stuck in the illusions of the 7, the fantasies, the dreams, the lack of grounding in reality. This is about going back to reality, back to like the natural state of who you are before this relationship took you on that journey. And there's a real stabilization, there's a real release. When you can relinquish control and let something be how it was always meant to be, that is a great release. And it takes so much pressure off, and thus begins the journey also of your body starting to relax, your nervous system. Got the World at the end of a cycle. So is it possible that some sort of competition here, some stuff getting in the way of you achieving your dreams, has caused you to have a departure here? Can we get one more here, please? Have we got any advice for whoever this reading's for? What do we have after the 7 of Wands and the 8 of Cups? Please and thank you. Hope you're having a good day. You're obviously quite far on your journey for the 7 and 8, and you're on the right path with there being some sequence here. We've got a real contrast of all the colouring as well. There's the fire. You're obviously ambitious. You've got dreams that are worth pursuing because you've come so far. I feel like you're very powerful in your own right and in your own energy. You've had to put up some clear boundaries lately. And I'm almost tempted to say, God help anyone trying to get past them, because there's forces supporting you at the moment. You have a lot of spiritual support. You have support from nature as well. What was that? The 2 of Pentacles. New path for you. And we're grounding again. The 2 of Pentacles, very grounded in reality. So it's possible you're starting a new job. You've got a new idea. Maybe you're moving home. Some choices being made lately for you to go down a path, for you to put your energy into something in a very real way. So on the kind of ground level of your life right now, you are going somewhere, okay? You're not stuck. You might be balancing things at the moment until you get a bit further on your path, until maybe you better get a bit more clear on where you are emotionally. Tell me more about the Seven of Wands, please. Why is the Seven of Wands here? Seven of Wands. Oh, Eight of Swords. The Eight of Swords is about like mental imprisonment, about the things that we don't face, the things that we refuse to acknowledge. Maybe we've told one half of people in our life a thing and we've kept another party going with another aspect of ourselves. This is very common. We can have different friend groups depending on the different aspects of our personality. We can have maybe one aspect of our life doesn't quite gel with another and we're not acknowledging like that. Like maybe the job doesn't go with the family life, but we're just kind of not ready to deal with that yet. I don't want to face it. I don't want to have to make a move either way. You are making a move either way. You've chosen a path. But something about this competition, something about people kind of wanting what's yours, wanting to take your success, your winnings, your results, your work. Maybe you didn't want to face that. Was it someone you didn't want to acknowledge because they were actually close to you and there was an emotional bond here? So it's put you in this kind of just this absolute deadlock with yourself. But the fire has inspired you to make a change. Because this got to the level of your actual ambition, your actual purpose, the actual fire that has put you on this planet and is your reason for being here. Someone has messed with that. And it was someone you didn't want to face. It was some situation that you didn't quite want to face. Maybe it's caused you a lot of mental stress, isolation, feeling trapped. Maybe starting to lose hope. But look, at the top of all of that, you've got an eagle. There's been wisdom throughout this whole process for you. You're very in tune with your path. And I think you know that you don't actually have very far to go to self-actualization. The Suit of Swords can be extremely heavy. And it's simply because the moment that one person's brain starts to individualize, it causes friction. The first thing it causes is friction. This can lead into full-blown conflict. People living in totally different worlds who are actually in the same house together, for instance. And that journey we all kind of go on of, is what's happening in my mind the same as what's happening in everyone else's mind? Are we perceiving things in the same way? The journey of the swords tells us that we're not. But part of the lesson of how to create harmony in life is to actually be open and honest about these things. So something's happened where this kind of mental prison has been allowed to develop, but the fire, people getting too close to your fire, your dreams, your ambition, what ignites you, what truly matters to you, has made you walk away, and it's made you pick a path and take a choice. Okay, let's go deeper on the Eight of Cups. I want to give you reassurance that what follows the Eight of Cups is the Nine, which is such a sublime state of mind and heart to be in. It's harmonization, it's calm, it's peace. I hope you can see. I can't actually see my screen because of the sun, but isn't it gorgeous? You might hear a bit of noise in my washing machine as well. I've got something hard in there, so it might be banging in a bit, but I'll keep the reading short so it doesn't get to that point. Tell me. Oh, okay. Prince of Swords, Page of Swords. Okay, so connecting to the Eight of Swords. The Page of Swords is this first whisperings of a new outlook, a new frame of mind. It could be someone younger who's got, like, they're just starting to realize the power of their tongue and the impact that it can have. Page of Swords can speak of gossip. Could be what has developed into this, you know, people going, ah, look, they've got that, or ah, excuse me, confirmation burp. So you've had to walk away from people who are bad-mouthing you all the time, basically. They've got you in this mental trap that you've kind of needed your fire, your spirit to help you to see and get you out of. And the emotional pain has caused you to walk away. Page of Swords is a really powerful card because what begins, and this is the impact that one comment can make. If there's someone out there who maybe you thought you trusted or you thought that you were close to, but actually they're out there with quite a vicious tongue, that can cause a hell of a lot of damage. Because even just one comment, what's that saying of how quickly a lie can spread compared to how quickly the truth might come behind it to put a stop to the gossip spreading. Sometimes there's kind of no going back, because once people have heard something and taken it on and believed it, it can be very, very hard to change anyone's mind. Doesn't matter what facts or evidence or anything like that you have. So I feel like you've actually been put in a position of being trapped and hopeless, isolated, not knowing maybe who to turn to, not knowing who you can speak to. All the different colours on there as well is making me think that this gossip has affected a lot of areas of your life, and it's caused fragmentation. But let me reassure you, your journey, this walking away, even though part of you might be like, what the hell am I doing? I just know I need to kind of release this and see where my heart tells me where to go next, or tells me how to be next in order for me to heal. This gossip has caused so much damage for you. I'm so sorry. And you've got another sword there. So we've now got 9 swords on the table. Now this is interesting because the 9 is about kind of the negative side of self-fulfilling prophecy. So for instance, if you believe, let's put it in a relationship sense, if you believe that your partner is with someone else, and because you've taken in that belief, it starts to affect how you speak to them, how you treat them, how you are with them. And that has such an impact on your relationship that it actually pushes that person away to go and look for someone else. So whereas in the beginning, there was actually nothing to worry about, but the worrying took hold, impacted the behavior, which then impacts the reality of that situation, which the other person can feel. Your worry and your fear has ended up becoming reality, and in the kindest way possible. It's because you've allowed it to, because you've let that fear set in, and it has then impacted on everything you say and do from then on. So sometimes we can let fears, worries, doubts and insecurities take over, and we can actually cause a lot of problems for ourselves that didn't need to be there in the first place. We could have actually sat down with our partner and said, look, I might be being a bit insecure, but I've been having these thoughts lately. Please, can we sit and talk? And 9 times out of 10, that partner is going to give you the time and the attention to put your mind at rest that actually whatever you thought was giving you that suspicion is simply not correct. Yeah. But because we don't like to sometimes admit we might be wrong, we might have an incorrect perspective on something. Oh, wow. Hermit to the Wheel of Fortune. You've definitely had to go in here. You've had to go in. You've had to kind of you've had to keep your focus when all this has been going on around you. I feel like someone's completely tried to ruin your life with gossip. And I'm so sorry because you've had to walk away from a lot here. But you are heading towards the star and the rainbow. Yeah. You're heading towards your own little mountain where you can kind of stake your claim on that bit of land and be like, no, this is my life. Oh, fucking hell. Love it. Bottom of the deck, we've got 5 of Wands, 9 of Wands, the Devil. Shit, okay. Someone doesn't like you. I'm so sorry, but we can't expect everybody to like us. Someone's own insecurity and inability to actually reach out and clarify any situation has led to this absolute mess. 9 of Wands is burdens. It's the wounded warrior, absolutely exhausted, but knowing how close he is to the end, he somehow summons up this superhuman strength, endurance, patience, effort to actually get in there. If you know you're so close to the end of something, you can achieve absolutely anything you want. And part of your journey here is facing absolutely everything about yourself and those who have put you in a bit of a dark situation. Your final card here, well, clarifying the 2 of Pentacles. I don't think I'm going to do another layer. You've picked a path, made a move, and created something like there's a new manifestation for you because you've made a choice in the real world on the 3D level. What that's done is cause judgment on this whole situation. So my advice to you, because judgment is like, it's not just you having a full reckoning, because your awareness is reaching the level of having that full reckoning and that honesty. It's like an opening, and what happens is that opening impacts on your whole environment. So you kind of deciding, right, that's enough. I'm walking away from this. I'm going to do my own thing. I'm going to sort my head out, and hopefully whoever else is involved is going to take a minute to sort their head out as well. And then we can meet each other as sovereign souls who are equal, where nobody is above each other and everyone deserves the time and respect to be able to live their own lives and create their own heaven. You making a real life 3D decision, picking a path, taking the first step has called judgment on this whole thing. And it has took you closer. Look, where once you were just looking at that like, oh my God, I know my perfect life is there somewhere, but look how far away it is. But look how close you are now. Sorry, I just spat a bit. Let's take that as confirmation as well, yeah? Look how close you are. You've hardly got any steps left. You've hardly got any steps left. Give yourself a hug. Give yourself a pat on the back. Give yourself a well done for surviving every bad day. And give yourself a well done for surviving all this callous, cruel, underhand nonsense. Because that's all it is. It's pure nonsense brought on by others who can't cope with wherever you're going. And that's not your fault. But sadly, you do have to deal with it because this is what it brings out in people. The absolute worst sides of people who aren't prepared to go on that journey of self-discovery themselves, to be able to make their own moves in life that they want to make, to actually have a reckoning of who they are. And they just want to stay at this page level, just talking, letting their mouth go, thinking whatever they want to think, and convincing themselves that it's real, okay? What matters is where you are, all right? I hope the sun is shining for you today as well. Have we got any last message for whoever this is for, please? I feel like we've got a bit of power to this, yeah. A bit of power. You might need a bit of TLC, but I'm not seeing that there's any like emotional lack here. More lesson learning. And here's that Nine of Swords again. People who create problems end up living in problems that they can't escape because that becomes their reality. You don't have that, but there is a tower coming, okay? But you are more than equipped to deal with that tower because you already are fully aware of everything that you've done as part of this, everything that you've said, how you've conducted yourself, and let the tower fall. Sometimes it's the most necessary thing. We need a good storm to clear things out. So on that note, I wish you well. Where's my crystal? Lots of love. And we'll have a bit of 528 to finish off. Have a lovely day.